anymore in the game. There's very little true aggro. There's very little true control and very little true combo, right? There's these, it's like a spectrum. The true aggro would probably be the equivalent of an aggro mage, right? They just want to...
That one's pretty true aggro.
They kind of all in at a certain point. Once their minions get removed, they start, yeah, they start throwing spells in your face. But like, you know, even Malagos Druid, a combo deck, sometimes just wins without combo.
Yeah, just got really good cards.
It's just got really good Druid cards. Even this one, Quest Rogue.
Quest Rogue is just
a combo deck, but...
Look, there's no doubt that the deck is good and that in certain matchups, you know, you're looking at it and you're going, wow, this is just easy.
Yeah.
But this deck is incredibly hard to play. I have sat down with some Quest Rogue experts and they just do stuff that is like mind-bogglingly weird to me.
Yeah.
And when you look at it down the road, you go, wow, that was really good. And I don't know how you figured that out, but you did.
Yeah.
And in this matchup, Akumaker, I will say that I think that he has some ways to take a big advantage, and I think Twig of the World Tree is probably the biggest one. This puts a more definitive clock on Sequinox, and so he now has a perspective of how he needs to win this match, and he needs to find a way to disrupt the major turns from Akumaker.
Yeah, but, I mean...
Right now, it doesn't look like that's happening.
Yeah, Akumaker is not really... It's going to be hard for him to just outright kill Sequinox. This is the traditional just waggle him.
Well, if you draw enough cards, you can waggle anybody.
If you draw enough cards, you can waggle anybody, but Quest Rogue is one of the decks that operates on few cards the best because their cards just ooze value. He's got Valeera already, even though he Mimic Pot into Valeera, which is bad.
Unless it's not.
Unless it's not, but it's not going to protect you from fatigue damage.
That's true.
And so, what are you going to... Stop his Giggling Inventor from hitting you. Stop his Togwaggle from hitting you for 5.
It can't be important.
What it does do is it allows you to go infinite with just a single card, and that card is Zola. If you just keep Zoling your own Zola, you have a threat every turn, even if it's a 4/4.
That's really where my mind is at, too. It's so much less about whether or not you can make use of the duplicate Valeera, and so much more about just Valeera is a very important card.
Yeah.
Akumaker keeps finding card draw as well. It's really that number in the top right, the deck count for Akumaker, that's the big one to pay attention to.
Yeah.
The closer that gets to 0, the closer Akumaker is to winning the game.
Yep.
His goal is to draw his entire deck, and then swap decks with his opponent via King Togwaggle. And then whether it's filling up Sequinox's hand with too many cards, or by using a discounted Azalina, or the extra mana from Twig of the World Tree to play Azalina, it's to take back the King's Ransom that King Togwaggle gives you, so that when your opponent swaps back, you just swap again. Voila, no more deck.
Boom.
Stay. Akumaker just getting aggressive.
He's got Branching Pass in hand. He's got the Malfurion Hero Power rolling.
Threatening lethal.
7, 8, 9. Plus 8. Plus
4.
3. Plus 4. 21.
Bingo. Wait, blackjack. I don't know whichever one it is. Something about 21 is a good thing.
Yeah. Royal Flush.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Now, I know for a fact that's exactly what it is.
Sequinox is just dead.
Well, he got beat up. Arcane Tyrant Flute.
This deck is not supposed to just kill people.
Well, that's the thing. Remember we talked about Druid cards? We talked about this. Sometimes you just get them.
Akumaker doing the math, but this is lethal plus a couple points of damage. I don't know if Sequinox even considered this.
Oh, what is it going to do? It doesn't have a really strong way to get around that. 2-0 lead for Akumaker. Libidinous Flute provides an additional 3 mana 3/4. Branching Pass, being as flexible as it is, always gives opportunity to Druid to just end the game.
Wow.
Man Shaman. I don't know why that was the one that got you. Why that one?
I don't know. It's been a day.
Pretty tough matchup for Sequinox. This is, I would consider this one of the most unideal matchups for Sequinox.
That's a very politically correct way to put it.
How often do you just see this? You're just like, yeah, Wild Pyromancer 3-2, go. Bloodfen Raptor, get ya. That's how desperate Sequinox is for damage in this matchup. If he does not close the game, he will lose. End of story. And I don't mean close the game as in like, well, sure, of course, you have to kill your opponent to win the game. Some decks don't kill their opponent. They literally fatigue them out or, you know, what have you, or they just, your opponent concedes out of frustration. Sequinox has to kill Akumaker fast.
Yeah. I mean, we saw this exact matchup in Sequinox's last series against Blood Trail, where he just jammed Archbishop Benedictus on 7.
The biggest threat he had.
Because he just needed pressure. It reduced the likelihood that he drew any of the cards in his deck that would help him kill his opponent. But it also gave him the very small chance that maybe he could Shutterwalk combo his opponent before his opponent could Shutterwalk him. Albeit, you know, probably a 0.001% chance, but that's how desperate you become in this type of matchup.
Sequinox is going to go for Divine Hymn here. Had an option for Twilight Drake trade over, but looking for much more.
Yeah.
I think finding tools that help you deliver damage is more important than just getting the pressure rolling in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's a, you know, part of the benefit of playing the Wild Pyromancer on 2 as well. Wants the Northshire Cleric, wants the card draw. Find Anduin, find Mind Blasts, try to end game.
Yeah, he's actually got another Wild Pyromancer Northshire Cleric combo combined with Shadow Vision, so he's going to be able to draw a lot of his deck.
A lot of it just comes down to, you know, time management on that, though. Being able to utilize your mana effectively while that's going on.
And I was thinking about this. He opted to keep the Northshire Cleric alive as opposed to Wild Pyromancer.
Don't like it.
With another Northshire Cleric in hand, knowing that Akumaker's main card draw sources are Mana Tide Totem, Acolyte of Pain, which he would have no answer to if he did it this way.
What is a loon's will?
It's liability now.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant by time management. You know, when are you going to fit in the mana to draw extra cards? It takes a... Development has been king. You know, we've seen that it's been king in all these matchups.
Yeah.
Twilight Drake, obviously, Sequinox doesn't want to play that immediately. Fear of Earthshock. That's a major swing. But I'm in agreement with you. I think keeping on the Wild Pyromancer is wiser due to the card draw options from Akumaker. I think this just puts him in a tough spot now. You know, sometimes in these matchups, you kind of get resided to your own fate. You're so far behind just from the get-go. You focus on the wrong things.
Yeah. More cards.
Oh.
Mana Tide Totem plays into Dustbreaker here, but
is there any way that Sequinox can overdraw Akumaker?
no.
So Wild Pyro,
Heal.
like if he rips Power Word Shield, card Mana Tide Totem. You know, that is another way that Sequinox can win the game. If he just burns the critical cards from Akumaker's deck, he's not going to be looking at that right now. He wants to just get this board clear.
And draw more cards himself.
I mean, we have historically seen that be an effective method against Shutterwalk Shaman, though, is forcing them to draw too many cards. Suddenly that Shutterwalk gets burned. They don't really win after that.
Yeah. But both these players are drawing to their decks very quickly. Sequinox has already drawn a ton of cards. He's got 14 left in his deck. Just trying to find Shadow Reaper Anduin, to try and land an Alexstrasza, to try and hope he doesn't have Healing Rain, to try and kill him with Mind Blasts.
That's a lot of tries. And one of the cards is missing. Take it back, a lot of the cards are missing. There are no Mind Blasts yet.
Well, he has one, but he's used both Shadow Visions. So he's not going to find any extras.
Last, plural. I felt stupid after I said it, so I tried to recover somehow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Shutterwalk found.
Plus Grumble. Plus he already played a Serenite Chain Gang and a Life Drinker. We're getting close. Already. He does have to focus on making sure that he gives himself the best chances of guaranteeing a Shutterwalk to play again.
Well, I don't necessarily think that's true, and there's a couple reasons why.
Whoa.
The first one is that Sequinox has to be able to, A, deliver pressure to Akumaker. Already a difficult thing to do in the matchup. B, how does he handle multiple Shutterwalks just sitting on board?
Shadowy Branduin.
That's it.
The longer, but then it puts him back in his deck, so he's going to
exactly.
draw him again.
The longer Akumaker waits to Shutterwalk, the harder it is for Sequinox to actually deliver a killing blow, because he has to play Shadowy Branduin to deliver the killing blow. So as soon as you see Shadowy Branduin, then you're free to Shutterwalk. You're free to take that risk afterwards.
Fair point.
So Akumaker's going to hold on to the Grumble and wait for Zola. Wants to Zola the Grumble, and then go nuts afterwards. Doesn't play the Grumble also because it's right into Shadowy Branduin turn. And then there's no doubt for Sequinox. Then it becomes an easy Shadowy Branduin.
Yeah.
That's really the freedom that Akumaker has, is he can make the turns as awkward as possible for Sequinox at every step of the way. Very smart play.
A perfect 15 health points on the board for Volcano.
Blackjack.
I bring life.
And that's the hope you ain't got healing button.
Or Hex. Well, he's got both.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
Yeah.
It felt bad early. It feels real bad now.
Yeah, and you can see this is just one of the biggest uphill battles that you can possibly imagine. And there's Zola.
So two options. You can Grumble the Zola, and then if your Shutterwalk fails, put another 9-cost one in your hand. Zola the Grumble. Do it that way. Zola in hand, Shutterwalk in hand, Grumble, Serenite Chain Gang in the pool. Now it's time to empty the hand, get Shutterwalk rolling. Akumaker takes this read that Sequinox does not have Shadowy Branduin in hand, but suddenly pressure.
And a lot of it. So he's had one Chain Gang, one Life Drinker, I believe. The Zola, a Glacial Shard, and of course the Grumble. So of course with the Zola, one mana Zola in hand, he is guaranteed to have another Shutterwalk. But then beyond that,
yeah, I mean, now suddenly the turns are looking a little bit tough. I think that, you know, all the health on board is what's really putting Akumaker in a tough spot. So just keep delaying. That's the game plan.
yep.
It kind of came out of nowhere. You know, it's the timing of the pressure that really matters a lot.
Let me
Tack on a little
change your
more.
mind.
Does have the Electro Storm plus the Lightning Storm combination.
That sometimes fails, though.
It sometimes fails, but
And if that fails, you're on 6 mana the next turn. You are going to get beat down if that doesn't work.
yeah.
You know, is that a risk you're willing to take at this point in Akumaker's spot?
I mean, he's waited as long as he could, but with the way the board looks, it's a time to go for it.
You know, there's 3 Glacial Shards in the pool right now. You're going up to 30 life.
I wonder.
You're putting a Shutterwalk in your hand?
It just looks like a Shutterwalk to me.
Doesn't hit the Spell Power Totem.
Well, it does hit the Taunt Totem, though, so it doesn't, you know, it's a little bit of a reprieve sometimes.
Yeah.
This is a big turn, though.
2 on both the Cabal Shadow Priests.
Uh-oh.
Kills one of them. Still a little bit of pressure on board, and now he's overloaded quite a bit.
So that's the thing. Sequinox, I think, needed both Cabal Shadow Priests to live. If both of them lived, I think that there's a chance. With one of them dying, whoa, okay. I'm going to slow down there. That's a big draw. So now Sequinox just goes, I'm going to need time, and I know I'm going to need time. I'm going to get this out of the way. Because he's got pressure rolling.
Yeah.
6 mana for Akumaker. Wow. Big draw for Akumaker. Granted, 9 cards left in the deck. But without that one, I think he was in a lot of trouble.
Sequinox ripped that very quickly. I think he was planning on going Primordial Drake, but you can see him shaking his head.
Yeah, I think he was planning on Primordial Drake as well, because that was definitely the play.
Yeah.
However, I think getting Anduin online is still very important.
Yeah, but now he doesn't have a way outside of Psychic Scream to deal with those big Shutterwalk boards, and he just has to hope that
he's got to just hope he can get the damage.
Yeah.
Engaging TC-130 until dislocated.
Still only 1 life drinker. The first Shutterwalk will only be able to happen once,
Just the fact that he can't
if it fails.
disrupt it. Like,
Yeah.
he can't do anything to stop it is really the big issue.
Hey, speak to me.
Acolyte of Pain on the board is just 2 extra damage. And a 2/4.
My jaws.
Here we go.
My claws that catch.
Looking for Grumble or Starry Night Chain Gang. Grumble happens first.
Okay, so there is a little bit of a game here. Again, the problem though is that there's just a lot of Shutterwalks on board, and there's not really a way for Sequinox to stop this.
Yeah.
You see what I mean by just the 6/6s being a problem?
Yeah.
There's not really any way for Sequinox to handle this. It's
Yeah.
such a bad matchup given the nature of the way that Shutterwalk operates. Your main clear is Psychic Scream. You don't want a Psychic Scream Shutterwalk. This is just, it's just tough.
Yeah. Well, this turn he is putting, a couple of extra stuff back in, but that stuff is good. Like an Acolyte of Pain just helps him draw his Shutterwalks faster.
I mean, I think you got a Psychic Scream here. Maybe you don't. But they have Shutterwalk in hand.
If you don't Psychic Scream, it means that you're guaranteeing him another
second Dustbreaker in that spot. Yeah, I think it's what it was.
Yeah.
Double Dustbreaker would have been able to bust that, and maybe, just maybe, Akumaker fails afterwards. But now that's not happening. This game is snowballed.
My claws that catch.
Of course, I say that. I mean, maybe there's a chance that just every Shutterwalk fails. Well, scratch that.
Yeah. Pretty unlikely, and he's still got another one in his deck, so.
Oh, yeah, there's 2 Zolas in the pool now.
Yeah.
That could be a problem. Limiting yourself to 1 Shutterwalk a turn because they all cost 9 mana, that's a way to lose.
Eventually, your opponent's going to run out of Psychic Screams, and you're going to just have 6/6 on board hitting him for a lot every turn.
It's true, but...
And you're actually ahead in fatigue now as well.
Have you ever had your hand filled with 9-cost Shutterwalks and just never been able to get... Wow. Sequinox just quits, and Akumaker, that's going to put him through to the championships. 3-0 over Sequinox as he moves on.
He just ran away in excitement.